Hello, hello. I am back to help you do this thing called life. Keep praying, keep praising, and I will too. Still been on this tip about like not dropping the baton or grabbing the baton, um, keeping the promise alive. And so yesterday I talked about how there was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then Joseph. And so um, I thought about Joseph and how, because like I said, God made the promise to Abraham. Isaac had to stay in the place of moving that promise along. Um, Jacob ran into a whole lot of issues, but he got it right. He finally got it right. And he released the blessing over his children. And Joseph was one of his offspring. And Joseph had a rough life. I was thinking about some of y'all who may feel like you've been dealt a rough hand. Uh, Joseph was dropped in that pit by the hands of his brothers, then sold into slavery, um, lied on, and thrown into jail, left in jail. But everywhere he went, he prospered. Um, Everything he put his hands to, it was blessed. And one of the things that I always see is how the word says, and God was with Joseph. Like every time when things were rough, and God was with Joseph. And maybe you're the Joseph of your family, and you're supposed to be the one to slam dunk this thing. Like, by the time it was over, Joseph was the man. He was the one that everybody came to. He was next in line, to the king. Nobody had more power except the king. Um, and he had to have his heart right, despite what had been done to him. But that whole "and God was with Joseph" thing, and it's like, okay, God was with Joseph. Well, God's everywhere. He's with all of us, right? But maybe the difference is in knowing that he's with you. It's one thing for him to be everywhere at all times, but it's another thing to know God is with me. When you know God is with me, it enables you to go through what you could not go through without that realization, without that assurance that God's got me. He ain't sleep and he ain't dead. God's got me. And he doesn't lie. He doesn't lie. He had given Joseph a dream. He had given him a dream. And he had given Abraham a promise. So I need you to know that there's a promise over your head. I don't know if, now, because the Bible is full of promises that are for all of us that are saved. And then there may be some promises that God made to your forefathers, to your mama, to your daddy, to you. But there are promises over your head. Or maybe there's a dream that's supposed to be fulfilled. And it's not easy, but it is possible. Connect to some dream stokers, some coaches, some cheerleaders, some good team members, because God wants to manifest this thing in your life. You need to have a good team around you. Create your dream team. Whatever that dream is, let there be some people that you trust enough to share that with. And then just when you're down, when it's looking like it's not going to come to pass, talk to them. They'll have that ability to help you. I saw something today on Facebook, and I saw where one of the young ladies from our church a young lady and young man from our church, Laura and Sean. They're married, and Sean is a lover of music and phenomenal musician and just loves to play. And his wife bought him an organ for their home. And if you could have seen that reaction, or if you saw that reaction, it was priceless. There is nothing like knowing that somebody, and I wrote this morning before I ever saw that. I didn't see that until tonight. But I put connect to your dream stokers, your cheerleaders, those team members who really want to just like egg you on, who want to pump you up, who believe in your greatness, who see the people who see your passion and who know that you want to get this thing done and just know what you're passionate about. And to have somebody in your corner who's like, get it, get it, that is amazing. And that thing blessed me because so many times there are people who don't understand or who fight the dream. When you find people who are right there with you, oh, that's a blessing. And so anyway, um, you've been in reserve long enough. Get back in the game. If you found yourself uh, that you've been on the bench for a minute by choice, if you find that you quit the team, if you're a coach and you find yourself always pumping somebody else up, listen, there's somebody to do it for you. You just got to move. Sometimes it's hard when you're the coach, when it's hard to be coached. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over again, where sometimes it's hard for the coach to be coached. But sometimes you got to realize you're on a team. Maybe it's not that one, but you are on a team. And you've got to allow people to help direct, uh, help encourage, help point you in the right direction. But just know there's a dream over your head, there's a promise over your head, and it's time for it to be fulfilled. This has been One More Minute with Marcy. I'll be back tomorrow with another moment of momentum producing motivation. Until then, stay encouraged. And remember, you gotta flutter before you can fly. But flying is in your future. I love y'all.